2 tickets, please.
Welcome back, episode 2 of the 2 Tickets podcast. I am joined here by Tyler again, my lovely co-host. We got a big one today. Today is Monday, July 20th, and we will be talking Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey.
Odyssey weekend, baby. It's over.
Yeah, long awaited. I mean, the hype for this movie, we talked about it briefly last week. A lot of hype, and it's finally here. We both saw it. You saw it many more times than me, but I will be going again to see it this week. So we
Yeah,
have Christopher
the only,
Nolan's.
well, it's
Go
the
ahead.
only movie that I know that tickets were out a year in advance for IMAX and sold out. So the fact
Yeah,
that
I
I remember
mean,
talking about it a year ago, like, oh, I can't wait. We should get tickets. Oh, it's too far out, and then now it's here.
yeah, I mean, you got in. Because I'm AMC crashed the day of buying tickets back, and what was that, over a month ago when
Yeah.
we got them, when you
hmm
got them. I had to see it in regular format, unfortunately, but I will be go seeing it in IMAX this week so I can get the full experience. You luckily got IMAX at 70 millimeter, right? So the Odyssey was the first film shot in entirely IMAX, which, I mean, Christopher Nolan, he works wonders. But let's get into it. We got the Odyssey from Christopher Nolan. It is an action fantasy film, and it's an adaptation of Homer's ancient Greek epic poem Odyssey. Um, so we have Odysseus, the king of Ithaca, who embarks on a perilous journey to return home after the Trojan War. Crossing the Mediterranean Sea with his fellow soldiers, they soon find themselves battling not only the elements, but an array of deadly obstacles and mythical creatures along the way. Um, yeah, this was a $250 million budget. Opening weekend, we did 124.5 million domestic, bringing it to 264 worldwide. Which, I mean, as expected, this movie was going to do crazy numbers opening weekend, and it's only
Yeah.
going to get higher from here.
Yeah. Especially with the rewatch.
Uh,
I think it's gonna be a big
for
rewatch.
sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what, 2 hours and 50 some, just shy of 3 hour
Might as well be
runtime.
3 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, uh, worth every minute of the movie.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was in AMC. I had to see it in just normal format. It was still did its job, but I know you saw it in the better format. If you want to touch on that a little bit.
Yeah. And this is a quick little soapbox and my chance to be a snobby little movie man. The IMAX, what people don't understand is IMAX. It's not just a zoomed in version of what you're seeing in regular. It's additional scenes. So when you're watching it on the widescreen, there's those black bars. It's filling those in with the actual scene, not just zooming it out. And the fact that this was shot with it and on 70 millimeter, it's almost the only way I can compare it is when you see Avatar. You have to see those in IMAX 3D just because they're so visually appealing. It's like an experience. That's what the Odyssey was. I saw it in three different. The first one I saw was IMAX 70 millimeter. The other one was an RPX, which is like a Regal specific screen format, and then the third one was just plain IMAX. And even the compared to those three, IMAX 70 millimeter is an experience. It's usually I tell people to go see IMAX to improve the movie. I really just think this is the only way to see the movie. Some of those shots where they zoom in, we can get more into it more. But you zoom out and see like this whole ocean. There's a boat on the ocean, or you just zoom out on these big epic scenes. It hits so much more in those, and I think you just have to see it in IMAX.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy what he does, and like the way they had to shoot that with the IMAX cameras and the 70 millimeters, like creating like soundproof boxes. Like, this isn't a spoiler for anything. It's just a little behind the scenes because they run so loud. They had to create these like soundproof boxes around the cameras so they could get the scenes and it wasn't that loud and you couldn't
Yeah,
hear it, which is incredible.
it sounds
It's
like the
like,
most inconvenient way to shoot a movie, honestly. Because the other one they said that you can't. It's so big that you can't have actors face each other while they're filming conversations. So they used mirrors to do it. Like, it sounds
dude,
so inconvenient to do.
and the fact that this is, we'll get into it, but like for the majority, a ton of practical effects. So shooting it that way with actual practical effects in the Mediterranean Sea, like live, like scenes, like they traveled all over the world for this, is crazy to me.
And you feel it. It's not one of those things like, oh, this could have been CGI or like, oh, this. When you see it, it feels like such a real movie for the first time in a long time.
For sure. And I'll get in. I have a long list. Because it just astonished me. We'll get into it for the spoiler part. But I have a long list of practical effects that I read up on and watched videos on
Mm-hmm.
right after I watched the movie. It's insane.
Mm-hmm.
But to get into it, just a little general review. Um, this movie was amazing. I can only imagine seeing it in IMAX 70 millimeter. That is the plan. I'm gonna go see it in different formats. But this movie was fantastic. Christopher Nolan. I said it last week in our pre-rate. He just does wonders, and he just continues to do banger after banger. The score from Ludwig Göransson, really good. The story, obviously, it's adapted from the poem. Uh, Ending is different from the poem, from what I've read. We'll get into that in the spoilers, but the story was really good. Visually, even on a regular screen, still amazing. The practical effects, and it's Christopher Nolan. It's really like I don't really know how to explain it without getting into the spoilers, but it's Christopher Nolan, and the movie lived up to the hype for me. So to my rating, so I'll keep this brief so we can get into the spoilers, and it's going to be a long conversation. To get into my rating, I have it at a 91 out of 100.
Okay.
So it hit my 90 that I pre-rated
Yeah,
last
right in
week.
there.
And again, I have one watch, so you have what, 3 or 4 now?
Three, yeah.
3. So off of my initial watch, I left the theater 91 out of 100. Really good. I really enjoyed this movie.
Yeah, so I'm like right there. I'm just below you. I'm at an 88. I was going back 88 or an 89. Not that it really matters, but I think I landed on 88. I loved it. I really, really liked it. I think the best way, I don't know if I'm just a dummy, but I'm not a big Greek mythology guy. I knew almost nothing about the story outside of, I've seen Troy a million times. But I do think that if you watch Troy before you watch this, there'll be a couple offhanded comments that they make that'll kind of land a little more for you. It's not necessary that you have to watch it, but I think it's worth it. I really liked it. I did have a couple problems with it, but everything else about like I had a problem with maybe 30% of it, but the other 70 was so good that it made up for it. That's still an 88. I just think it's really rushed in the beginning. Like the best way to describe it in that first scene, it almost feels like you're watching a trailer because they'll say a line of dialogue, no breath in between. You'll get another dialogue from another character. Then we're in a different scene. And then in that scene, you got two quick lines of dialogue, then another scene. So you're just bang, 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 bang through the entire first third of the movie, which I think is almost intentional. It's supposed to kind of catch you up. There's so much information to get, but it was just too fast for me. Like I wanted to stay in those scenes a little more, which is crazy because it's already a 3 hour movie, right? So like, if anything, you'd want it shorter, and I'm over here complaining that you want more in the scene, but you just couldn't really stay or absorb the dialogue that was being said enough. So that's kind of why I didn't get in the 90s with it. But I really really liked it. For sure, lived up to the hype. I've seen it 3 times. I'll probably see it at least one more time in theaters. So it's not like I hate it by any means. It very much lived up to the hype.
Yeah, I mean, I meant to get into this before our ratings, but it sits currently letterbox a 4.3 out of 5.
Yeah, which I got out on
95.
Thursday, and it was a 4-1, and when I looked again, it was up to a 4-3.
Yeah, that's how it was when I looked, and then I got these numbers. It was a 4-1, then it was up to a 4-3. Obviously, there's still plenty of people going out. Everything's going to change within the next 2 weeks as well.
Yeah, especially because it
It's
was
only
so
going
hard
to
to get
get better.
tickets opening
Oh,
weekend. So
for
like
sure.
people who weren't on top of it don't get to see it. So there's gonna be so much more people seeing it.
Rotten Tomatoes a 95, and then IMDb an 8.4. So a little vary with the ratings. I mean, 4.3 to a 95% is probably pretty similar, and then the 8.4 is a little lower. Um, yeah, but like you said, like that was one of my takeaways from it. It obviously didn't reflect in my rating, but yes, if I see it again and I can see like it did feel rushed in the beginning, and it's so tough because the original story is so long. Like
Yeah.
he realistically could do 4 movies of the
Yeah,
Odyssey. Like
almost should have done like a Dune, like a part one, part
each
two, part three.
stop could have been like on without getting into spoilers. Each stop on the journey could have been its own movie,
Yeah,
or at least like 2. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So I do agree. Like it's just so much to put into a movie, and it is 3 hours. It probably could have been longer. Like you said, it's crazy. Like you're already sitting there for pretty much 3 hours, but I would have sat in there for probably another hour,
Right,
45
because
minutes
not even
more.
could it have been longer. I wanted it to be longer.
Yeah,
Like a director's cut of another 45 minutes. This movie, I'm in.
could be insane.
Yeah, I'm in.
I can't wait to go see it in IMAX so I can actually get the full visual experience. But
Hmm.
even without it, it's like the movie's still very good.
Yeah, and it's a
And
vibe movie. Like I'll be the first one to admit it. This isn't the best movie that anyone's seen, and if by any means, but it is such a vibe movie. The scenes are so cool. The characters are cool. The just everything. It's just such a vibes movie.
yeah, for sure, I agree with that. All right, without beating around the bush anymore, I think we can just get into the spoilers a little
Yeah,
bit and
I mean
start getting
it's
into
also
details.
spoilers of a story that's been around for thousands of years is
For
crazy.
sure, yes,
Well,
but
it's on you.
there is some
Yeah,
changes in the story from the movie to if you read the book or the poem. Um, you read all 800, 900 pages of it or whatever. But there are changes, so yes, we're gonna have to just preface with the spoilers ahead. Just a little recap or a little overview of some of the cast, so people know when we start to refer to things. We have Odysseus, who the main character of the movie is Matt Damon. His wife Penelope, played by Anne Hathaway. His son Telemachus by Tom Holland. You have Athena, portrayed as Zendaya. Robert Pattinson as Antinous. He has a big role in this. I think he was really good. They all crushed, in my
yeah.
opinion. Like I think there's really, really good performances from people.
There was two
Uh,
that I didn't love, and it was I don't know how you feel about it, but the Travis Scott in the beginning, it just not that he even had a lot to go with, so it's not like he could be bad, but when he was just talking, it was fine, and then he did like another one where it was a little bit of a dramatic sentence, and just the delivery
mhm.
of it, I'm like that just didn't. It was almost not necessary to even put him in there. Like why not put a real actor in there if he didn't have what it took? So I thought he threw me
Yeah,
off, and and Calypso, I didn't love Calypso. Charlize Theron.
yeah.
I didn't. She didn't really do anything. She wasn't bad, but she didn't bring anything to the scenes for me.
I agree with that. I think I like her. Like I like some of her movies. Like she
Yeah,
is a
same.
good actress. I do agree though. Like there wasn't. I mean, the one scene where it could have been is like to get into it. He kind of washes up on a shore eventually. Like this is a Nolan movie. Nothing goes in chronological order. It's flashbacks and present. Oh, hit the mic and like present time. So like it bounces all over the place in typical Nolan fashion. But to give a little synopsis, he washes up on her shore essentially from a shipwreck, and you kind of just goes back and forth between him and then like he starts telling his story essentially to her. But the end is where like he finally realizes and like she tells him like how long he's been there. Like that scene, I feel like if they gave like it could have hit her performance could have hit harder for
Yeah,
that scene, but
right.
it kind of just felt like whatever. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Hmm.
So I do agree with that.
Which I think goes to the rushed factor, right? If you spent more time with those two, you'd realize like she mentioned like she's I was in love with you, kind of fell in love
Yeah.
throughout this, and you would have hit a lot more if we had more time spent with them.
Yeah, you don't really feel that like moment
Hmm.
there, which I guess makes sense with what follows. It's like that third act of the movie is so fucking good.
Yeah, it's
So
crazy,
it's like
and it comes
getting right
after.
into that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna butcher his name. John Leguizamo. He really good in this movie.
yeah.
Like a sleeper, like phenomenal performance.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, so just getting into the detailed reviews, I think obviously we talked about the ending was different. So in the book, he goes back and regains his throne with
I didn't
no
realize that.
repercussions. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's where this whole story kind of like Christopher Nolan's telling of it is like
Mhm.
opposite of what the story was pretty much
Oh,
told
okay.
as. And then in the movie, he gets the exile. Him and Anne Hathaway, his wife Penelope, exile, and they sail off west. And so it's kind of like there are consequences for his actions throughout this whole film, and you see that at the end.
Mhm.
In the book, it's not like that. He's kind of just the man and does whatever because he's Odysseus.
Right. Hmm.
Um, so I thought that was a cool twist, like how Nolan told that story of like, and with the scene when he's the beggar sitting in front of Penelope at the castle, and he's like telling that he like realized what they've done. They've kind of broke Zeus's law with the war, and it's like twist of from the book to the movie is cool, and like you
Yeah.
feel that scene when he realizes the actions of
And
what
I think
they've done.
yeah, that's the coolest part. And again, I don't know, like you said, I guess it's different. I don't know to what extent it's different, but just the realization, especially, it didn't even click on the first viewing. I think it was the second viewing it really clicked, where he's telling that story to Penelope at the end. Like the fact that he just lives and dies by Zeus's rules, or just all the gods' rules in general. Like that's his one and only. And he got pushed so far at this breaking point in Troy, where they were just sitting on the beach for 10 years, just waiting to get in. There's nothing they could do, and they
Hmm.
pushed him to the point where he breaks the only rule that matters, and it's a Zeus's rule to him. And then he's so into it. The second they get in there, he realizes what he's done, and the ripple effect that he knows as soon as he came out of that horse and let all the Trojans in, that what was going to happen, and it's a trickle down effect to the men of the sea. Men of the sea goes directly to Ithaca. It was a really cool thing.
Yeah, like that whole adaptation of it is like, and you really see it. Like, obviously, as you're watching the movie, you're not even like they mention Zeus's law 100 times, right? You don't even think of it with the Battle of Troy, right? You're like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
they just went in, do it.
Zero connection. Yeah.
It's not till that scene when he's sitting there in just covered up as a beggar, retelling it to Penelope that you're like, oh shit, like they really did. They broke the one law that you're supposed to abide by, like the
Mm-hmm.
God, and he has that realization, like, oh, we just like irreparable damage to humanity at this
Yeah.
point. Like it's gonna
Literally
take
humanity.
years to fix what they have done. It was
Mm-hmm.
like the one thing you're supposed to not do, and they
Yep.
did it.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really cool, and then it obviously just starts that whole third act with just an insane third act to end the movie. It's like
Yeah. As soon as he gets back,
you're.
it's like you're
It's
going.
one of those like the meme when like you're playing video games, you have to lock in. It's like you just kind of sit up a little bit
Yeah.
in your seat like the whole time, like you're
Yep.
just in it.
Mm-hmm.
I have a whole list of practical effects, so I've been rambling on. If you want to go into anything at this point, because I can go for an hour probably on practical effects if you
Yeah,
want to.
no, I can. There's just a couple scenes that I thought were just really hit for me that I thought were awesome, and again,
Hmm.
just straight vibes. When he's right before he opens the gates, but he throws the lantern down, and you can just see the rest of the soldiers, and then they're working. You're getting that build up where the soldiers are the Trojans are coming, and they're like trying to open the gate. You don't know what's going on. The gates are moving slowly, 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 and then they open, and you see Agamemnon in just his full fit. That the black armor went crazy when him and Barenthal
Dude,
too when they were leaving all time. So I thought that scene was incredible, and then you just see all these hundreds of, and that's what else. Like it's not practical effects or goes with anything, but they easily could have just filled in all these people in the background, all these no name soldiers with CGI, and they're all real people, and you feel it. You can just feel the people just flooding the streets of Troy. It was so cool. Um,
yeah, I have that for the practical. It's like 2,000 plus extras in armor,
yeah,
and it's
crazy.
so cool that they do it that way. Like really, he doesn't cut any corners. He's just
No, and you can tell that's the coolest part. Like if he went through all this work and it was like, oh, it looks the same as any other movie, it's not worth it.
no.
But that the Trojan or when they open the gates and then when he was talking to the dead, I really liked that scene too.
I
And
have
again,
that down as
Agamemnon
well.
was there in the black and just he tells his story and then they chase him at the end because they don't know that they're gonna bury or Odysseus is gonna bury them to get back their honor. So those guys like
Hmm.
chase him at the end, like just that whole thing too, and just the looks, the nice dark scene after being so light the entire movie, really cool.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that scene. I have that again on my practical effects because they were actually buried. It wasn't CGI. Like they actually buried people with snorkels, and everyone had like a person assigned to them and a timer to let them know like if they were under there too long, it's time to pop up.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah, dude, that's insane. And there's so many people,
And
but they
it's almost
actually
like that's how
buried
movies
people.
should be made, right? Like not everything needs to be CGI. I saw something. I don't know if Nolan said it, but it's like CGI should be used to enhance a scene, not create a scene. And like that's, I think that sums it up perfectly.
I think his biggest thing is like it's not like he's anti CGI, right?
Right.
That's not his thing.
Right.
He just thinks it's used too much as a crutch now
Which it
for
is.
people,
Yeah.
and 1,000%.
Because even
But
the
that's
silly things of the ships on the water when it zooms out and you see them, like it looks because it looks like a ship on the water. It's not CGI
yeah,
waves. It's not a CGI boat. It's not a green screen. It's not a tank. They're in the Mediterranean Sea and it just shows.
that's the one thing, and I have that the fact that they found 115-foot Viking ship,
Yeah, yeah,
sailed it actually on the Mediterranean Sea,
yeah.
taught the actors how to sail a ship is
Crazy,
incredible,
crazy.
dude.
And
It's incredible.
like it's not that they're ever in real danger, right? But it's also not this like the most comfortable situation to be in, like at
No, and
all.
then you put that into the fact what we talked about earlier with they're shooting entirely on IMAX 7 with the
Yeah.
crazy rig of cameras on an actual boat. It's actual storm, like it's
And
crazy.
you can only the IMAX cameras, they can only record for like 2.5 to 3 minutes at a time. So like you have to constantly change reels. Even if you nail a scene for 2.5 minutes straight, and you that's 100% going to be in the movie, you still have to stop, freeze. They have to change out the physical film and then start again. It's wild.
Insane.
Wow.
I meant to look it up to see like how long the shooting of this actually took.
Yeah, like the full. I don't know that either. Yeah, that would
Like
be interesting to see.
just the not even the hours, just the days that
Yeah,
it took to
I
be
actually
on
saw,
location.
I don't know the total, but I saw that they actually ended under time by like a week or something. But Nolan said it's for no other reason than just because there was nothing left. Like the actors they were dead. There was no more quality film they could get, so they just had to wrap it.
Well, yeah, I mean that goes into again the practical effects. Is I have a list of like they were actually in the Trojan horse. Like I saw an interview where Matt Damon saying like John Bernthal was legitimately shivering in the water, like
I saw he
trying
was
to
like going
not
like
shake
this.
so they could get through
Yeah,
shooting.
yeah,
Like that's incredible.
it's so cool.
It's a credit to Nolan for just being so like his vision is just so insane.
And he's
But
so
it's also
committed.
just a credit to like the actors, like
Yeah,
buying in and like obviously when you get a chance to work with Christopher Nolan, a lot of them already have, but there's a lot of new. They call. I saw an interview. Tom Holland called them Nolaners, new people who got to shoot and be a part of a Nolan film. It's just incredible what they put into this movie, and it shows 100%.
yeah, for sure.
I think I'm gonna get into my favorite scene, and it goes back to like I said, the score with Ludwig Göransson. It's the scene at the end when he's dressed as a beggar. Everyone tries to string his bow, and they show in the beginning it's like he strings the bow. They show the scene, and then they have Tom Telemachus try to do it. He's like, "You told me only my father could do this,"
Hmm.
and they show that scene in the beginning when he does it, and then you just hear him in the back, dressed as a beggar, sitting on the step. All the suitors around, no one's done it. He goes, "I haven't gone yet." And at that moment, it's like an oh shit moment in your head. You're like, "This is about to be sick." And
Yep.
that's when you like lean up a little bit. He steps up, cranks it, strings the bow, and then the pluck, and then the
Dude, the
sound
plot
drop.
it goes crazy.
Dude,
And also,
I
so
have
this,
written down like that's as the kids say nowadays, or farming to a max when he steps up and just plucks the bow, the needle drop. Oh, dude, it's so good. Like literal
and
chills.
I also love how that same scene where he says, I don't have a chance. When Pattinson turns around before he realizes, he's Odysseus at all, he just goes, "Can somebody get this beggar out of here?" And like just the delivery
Yeah.
of that line, where he's just like, "What a like, I'm so sick of this beggar just keep
Dude,
coming up."
he played like a snarky
Oh,
like
he was awesome.
villain
Yeah.
so well.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, dude, it was so funny. Like that scene, then you see him just walk up and he does it. The pluck, like, dude, it hit like
Yeah.
chills when I saw it. And then he just fires it perfectly right through all the axes. I'm like,
Yep.
damn, shit is about. Immediately, people just ran to the doors, the locked doors. Like they
Yeah.
knew shit was about to go
Oh
down.
yeah. They're like, oh, this is not gonna be. And
Dude, it
then
was so good.
I think all two of the three of my screenings when he pulls back and he goes, "Are you Odysseus?" and he just gets the arrow right to his throat. Audible shock in two of my screenings. It
Yeah,
was sick.
dude, it was so cool.
And also, how sick is that when they did the flashback? When Penelope was like, "Yeah, he does this all the time. He lets people try it." He would just have a feast or a dinner and just leave his bow out and just watch like 20 guys try and even string his bow, let alone make the shot afterwards. That's so sick. And he just does it. He's like, I'll do it at the end of the night. And just, doof.
Yeah, and even like the hunting scene, it's so like because this is like kind of relates to the book. I was talking to my cousin about it, who he's a teacher, so they teach like a very very dumbed down
Yeah,
segment of the book because
right.
they're in middle school. Like you try to read that all
Yeah.
900 pages, or like they'll
Uh,
have no idea. But apparently, the whole thing is like he's Odysseus, he's the man, he can do whatever. So
mhm,
that's how he's portrayed, is like kind of like my shit doesn't stink, I can do whatever.
right.
So like you kind of see that early with the hunting scene when he plucks the bow and then shoots the boar
Yeah.
that runs at him,
Hmm.
and he's like, "Why do you pluck the bow?" It's like to give him a chance. Like that,
Yeah. Yep.
so cold.
Yep. And even the
I was like,
fact
"Damn,
when
he's just the man."
Pattinson was talking about, he's like, "Oh, we watched him hunt," and like when you first says that, like, what do you mean you watched him? And then it clicks, and he needs an arrow, and there's just 20 kids begging just to
Just like
give him.
this is like, please,
They'll do
please.
anything just to be part of this guy's day.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Also, to get in, so they use an actual castle, and
Yeah.
I saw an
For
interview
Ithaca?
talked about like, huh?
For Ithaca?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So those hikes up and down to shoot
Hmm.
scenes, the actors were saying like it was some of their best moments because they just literally would like hike up and just get to talk to like the castmates about like whatever, like because even if it's not like a like they're not shooting at that moment, they're just doing a hike essentially and then to go shoot a scene,
Right.
which is crazy.
Yeah.
So with the practical effects, like we said, this movie it's Nolan, right? So on screen, it's visually just going to look awesome. But when you realize what goes into it, it's just astonishing. Like you watch it, you're like, "Wow, that was sick." And then I've learned so much. Like I knew going into it a ton of practical effects. It's how he is. It's how he's always been. But then when you realize what they did to make this work, it's even crazier. So my top one was the Cyclops scene in the cave.
Yeah. The fact that I found out that was practical was crazy.
Insane.
Yeah.
So they're actually shooting it in a cave,
Hmm.
and they built a 60-foot animatronic puppet. Essentially, it's a robot puppet,
Yep.
and then they touched it up with VFX after.
Hmm.
Into
Wild.
and it looks so good,
So
and
good.
that's
And the
like
cave itself, like that's what I mean, like where it feels like a real movie. You're in the cave and just throwaway shots of like where you only see a little bit of the cave in the top right, but it looks like a real cave because it is. Like those make up for so much of the other scenes. Like it goes so much farther than it should.
1,000%. And just like to do that in general is crazy, but then to do it inside the cave and make it look so good, it's unbelievable. I just can't believe just like they built a 60-foot animatronic puppet basically in a cave
Yeah.
to just make this.
Yep.
And like the horror elements in those scenes with how dark it is and the way it was shot, it's like genuinely like a little terrifying with like how well the Cyclops like
The scream when they
yeah.
stab in the eye and the scream it gets so loud. Yeah.
Um I didn't pick up, so I didn't hear it, but when they were like, "Oh, he can talk," and he's calling out to Poseidon, I couldn't really understand also, this movie's loud. Like you feel
Yeah.
every moment of this movie.
Yeah, that's some. I had like a couple dislikes and like because we've talked so much about it, there are some negatives, but that's one of them. The dialogue's hard to hear, and I think it's
Yeah,
because they shot on IMAX, so they're louder cameras, so they're hard to pick up a lot of the dialogue. Um, but I know what you're gonna say. Cause are you gonna say where they mention the next scene after where it's like, oh, we heard
Yes.
him say Poseidon. I watched the movie 3 times. I specifically listened for it the second 2 times. I cannot hear him say Poseidon
No.
or any audible words. So I don't know if that's supposed
I'm
to
gonna
be
really lock in
there,
for it when I
but
see it the second time.
yeah,
Yeah, it also could just like not be audible, and it just leads up to that scene where they're like,
yeah,
where it's like, okay, now it like shit's gonna hit the fan because we just attacked essentially the son of Poseidon, and we're about to go on a boat into the ocean.
hmm
Um, and that goes into like we talked about earlier, the ship, like the Viking ship is so cool, and the fact that they all had to learn how to like row, and like they did this actually on the Mediterranean Sea is incredible.
yeah. I didn't realize they had to learn to row. I guess that makes sense, but I didn't. I never heard that.
Yeah, I saw that in a video that they actually were teaching, like they were actually doing it. The whirlpool was looked amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That apparently, so I saw that they had people with a jet
That's what it
skis,
was.
but then they made the whirlpool effect more with VFX after. But they
Okay,
like were starting it with a jet ski
right. Just
to
like
get like kind of like a motion and cleaned it
yeah,
up with VFX,
that's funny.
which
That's
is
cool.
it's just an insane touch to like a
Yeah.
movie. So in that scene, they have, and it kind of goes back to how I said like his story is like he's always trying to save his men,
Yeah.
right? And obviously he loses so many people along the way, and they keep telling him no one's gonna survive this but you. The scene at Hades that we talked about where they're actually buried, and he talks to the blind prophet. I'm blanking on his name. It starts with a T. Um, and he's like, "Well, no, I'm not gonna let them do it, or no, we're gonna avoid it." And then he tells them what else is gonna happen if you do that.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "No, no, no, like I'm not. We're gonna get through this."
So I'm gonna defy the gods.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which again, with that lead up in the third act when he realizes what his actions have now caused,
Mm-hmm.
it makes that whole last scene like hit. Like as you look back on the movie, it's like each step of the way they were doing something to defy the gods,
Mm-hmm.
which led to just him being the only one essentially to survive the journey.
Yeah.
Um, with the whirlpool, so they avoid it and go down the canal. And in the canal, you see Scylla, which is the name of the sea monster that comes out of the rocks.
Okay.
That's They had harnesses that actually
I
pull
did see that.
guys
Yeah.
off the boat,
Yep.
which dude, it just makes it feel so real that they're
Yeah.
just getting yanked.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I'm assuming the VFX was actually like the arms of the monster coming out. Like I don't
Right.
think they
Yeah.
had, I don't think they built any
No.
animatronics to that. They just
Yeah.
VFXed it. But that is also just great. Like I got on a really crazy wormhole last night of like stuntman stuff on
Okay.
TikTok, and just seeing like I could you imagine that you're actually so you're sitting there as an actor or a stuntman, you're rowing this boat, right? And like you're strapped to this harness and the time's gonna come, you're just gonna get ripped off this
Yep.
boat and fly. Dude,
Yep.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
And
They
it's
said
so cool.
and they said the similar with the siren scene. The one guy who ends up jumping in. They said that they just day of Chris was like, hey, we're gonna need like you're gonna be the one to jump
You're
in, and the guy was just like, okay. And it was like not that they're in the middle of the sea, but like they're still very much in the sea and next to rocks. And they're just like, hey, just
yeah.
jump in there real quick. And he's like, okay, yeah, and just jump like blindly jumped in.
Yeah, like the balls, like, hey, you're gonna jump into the Mediterranean Sea.
With
Just
also
dive off.
armor. Like I know I'm sure it's
Yeah,
not real iron armor, but it's not like it's still heavy. Like I don't I would still be nervous.
yeah, it's not like you're plunging in your bathing suit
Yeah,
or like you know what I mean. Like you're
yeah,
not just gonna splash around in the ocean
for sure. That's got to be uncomfortable too.
for sure. And I saw that they did. I think it might have been like stunt women were the only ones that were gonna be able to be on the rocks as
Yeah.
the sirens.
Yep.
So they had to just use them. Like it wasn't
hmm
like a CG. I forget who was doing the interview. He just thought like, oh, they're just gonna CGI the sirens in. He's like,
It
no,
was
like
his like first mate. I forget who that is. The guy from
yes,
yesterday.
yes. Hold on, I can tell you in a
Herschel
second.
or her or something.
Hamesh Patel.
Yeah.
He was like, I thought they were just gonna CGI it in. He's like, nope, we just had stunt women just swim up, and they were the only ones that could stay on the rock.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yep. And even I saw that dolphin scene where they're jumping. That was completely action. Like they were just filming, and those dolphins
Yeah,
happened
the
to stop,
dolphins just
and Chris
appeared.
is like, "Perfect, let's keep it." I was like, "That's awesome."
It's so cool. And that's like a little thing that like if I don't see that video after,
Hmm.
I not even like comprehending that like the perfectly timing of dolphins like swimming by the boat,
Yeah,
right? Obviously we talked about the armor and the 2000 extras, like that's just insane.
yeah.
And it makes it feel so real. It looks so good in every scene where there's a war or
Yeah,
anything with
you can
all the
tell.
extras.
You can tell when they're real people and when it's just like supposed to be just filler.
Yeah. Um, the Cersei scene, which was really good, when they had to
Yeah,
stop and they go up to the cabin, and this is at the point where, oh, what is Dill doing in the background?
I'm going nuts.
This is at the point where like all his men are like, you're. They're kind of like blaming him for what's happening,
Yeah,
which kind of fair, kind of not at the
yeah. It
same
depends how
time.
they believe in the God's rules, I guess.
Yes, because at the end of the day, it all starts with they all break Zeus's law, and
Hmm.
they're all doing something at one point or another to defy the gods.
Hmm.
So they kind of get tired of him. Like, you stay down here, like near the ship. Like we're gonna go up. We're hungry. We need food. Where this journey is, it's taking a toll on everyone. And they're down to one ship. It starts with three. They're down to one ship at this
Yeah,
point. They're walking up these rocks, and they just see like crazy, just big cats. So you got lion, tiger, leopards. They're on this like journey up to this little cabin at the top of this hill. They go in. She screams. She thinks Cersei, who we've come to find out is Cersei, that they're there to attack her. It's a bunch of guys in armor. She goes to run. He's like, "We're not gonna hurt you. We're not gonna hurt you. We just need food." She's like, "Okay, leave your armor outside." And just so happens to have enough food to feed what 50, 40. God, I don't
the
even know at
entire
this
fleet
point.
of people. Yeah,
Yeah, and turns out to be a witch, and they turn into this is a part that's really cool to me. She said it turns them into their true form, and she's grabs them and she's literally morphing them into pigs. And the fact that that's practical and like whatever they did with prosthetics and
hmm,
makeup and obviously with VFX to like touch up some of the scenes is so cool to me. And then
yeah,
obviously Odysseus figures it out. Like he's hunting, he shoots a deer, and he runs up to it, and it's just a body of a naked guy. And
and he
that's when
turns
he
back to
realizes,
after he kills it. Yeah,
yeah, he realizes, oh shit, something's going on. So he makes his way up, figures it out what she's doing because now she has 50 pigs outside or whatever, however many, just randomly,
hmm,
and they're all going nuts. It's such a cool scene. And but when they're leaving, she's like, tell them they can put their costumes back on,
yeah,
that they're not actually warriors,
yeah.
and what, and that's when you start to realize like the effects of what they're doing is like causing this trickle down throughout their journey.
Yeah, it's kind of like you're only a hero in your own story, right? Because they
Correct.
mentioned they mentioned at the first island they go to, would you say his name is Hamesh?
Hamesh.
Hamesh says, um, we're from Ithaca. Maybe you've heard of our great victory at Troy, but like it's only a victory to them. Like they're
Yes.
only they're only good people in them. You pillaged an entire city and tricked them, so that it doesn't really they don't and it doesn't click for them either. I don't think until we start to
Mm-mm.
get later in the movie.
Yeah, it's I forget. I think his name's the actor's name is Hamesh. I
It's
don't
like
even.
it's
I'm
like
not even gonna attempt it.
eucalyptus or something.
Yes, I don't
Eurylicus.
think it's definitely
Eurylicus.
not you. That might be it. That might be the
It
proper
might be.
pronunciation.
It's either Eurylicus or eucalyptus.
I think it's Eurylicus for sure.
Okay.
Um,
Um,
good pull on that. Words
especially
are
so those
hard.
two scenes specifically, we've been talking about like good things. Some of the bad things, like I said, it was rushed, and I think it could have. I would have liked to spend less time in some places and more in the others. And I think one was the whirlpool and that monster scene. Like it just didn't really do. It was cool, but it didn't do anything for me. And I'd rather have if that was a 10, 12 minute scene. I'd rather have 10 or 12 minutes at either of the Cyclops or the Titans island. And then same with the
Yeah.
Cersei. It was cool, but I think I would rather have spent more And the fact that with the pacing, how I was saying, like it just feels very fast. The whole Poseidon thing, it kind of just as a thrown off comment where, oh, you angered Poseidon because that was his son, but we only know that because they made one comment. Like that's supposed to be some huge scene. That's supposed to be where the first crack of the crew not trusting Odysseus anymore, and we
Hmm.
only get it from just one comment on a ship, and then after that, when they right before they get to Circe's island, and it kind of shows them talking on the boat, and then the next scene he says maybe you should stay behind. Like that's they believe, like you said, Odysseus is supposed to be the man, and the fact that they trust him wholeheartedly, and now all of a sudden they don't, and that twist comes from a 20-second, maybe 10-second clip of them talking. I would have liked to see that play out a little more and see that drama of them debating going back and forth if they should or not.
Yeah, which is like we talk. I said like this easy could have been like its own trilogy essentially
Yeah, yeah,
with how because there's so much to this actual story that
yeah,
fitting it into one movie, granted, did a phenomenal job, but could have easily been multiple movies to actually make you feel some of those moments like you talked about.
yeah. I think a couple of the lines, there's a couple of one-liners that really hit for me too. Barenthal, when he said, "Have you heard of the story of the horse?" and Tom says, "Yeah." He goes, "Have you heard it from inside?" Like that's such a
Inside,
cool
yeah,
line. And then same with that, where he's like, "I think you should stay back from the boat," and Odysseus is like, "Is this a mutiny?" And Eurylochus says, "I think that's up to you," or he says, "That's up to you." Like that's such a cool line. Like, do you want it to be a mutiny, or you want to kind of just figure out what we're doing right now?
yeah, for sure. And like I said, oh, one thing that I thought like I would have loved to see a little more of Tom Holland and John Bernthal, like that scene when he travels to go find out what happened
Yeah.
to his
Hmm.
dad. Right, he goes. Tom goes to Telemachus, goes find out what happened to Odysseus. I think if we got a little more of that, like obviously we got really cool scenes, like you said, you ever hear from inside, and then it
Yeah.
goes into the Trojan horse and like the
And him
scene when
flipping
they're
the
sitting
plate
outside.
when Barenthal gets in and he wants to make room, he just kind of flips the plate and he like that's just, and he knows to get up. Like, of course it is. And even
Yeah,
he has another banger line there where he's like, maybe you know Hela, the face that launched 1,000 ships, and it's like maybe more like 500 now, and
and
then
he
shows
turns
her
her
face.
face
Like,
with the
that's a cool
scars.
scene. Cool
Yeah,
scene.
that's what I mean. Like I wish because he was obviously in the brief time he was on screen delivered like some really cool one-liners. I
Hmm.
think if we got a little more of him and like that story would have been cool. But again, it's so tough with a 3-hour movie and you have
Yeah.
so much Greek mythology you want to try to cram into one
Yeah.
movie. There's obviously going to be some flaws and some rush parts. Oh, the Lystragonians, the giant soldiers in the silver armor.
Oh, I thought they were supposed to be Titans, so I didn't even like I said I don't know the story. I was
So they go up and they see the kid, right? And they're like, "Oh, it's just a child." Or someone suspects like
yeah
that's a child because he was big.
yeah
And then he starts screaming, and they're like, "Oh, fuck!" And then the Lystragonians come running in. It's these giant titans, pretty much in silver armor, just wreaking absolute havoc
yeah. I mean,
on
they're
the
not even breaking
crew.
a sweat either. Like they're just coming through plowing down.
So all of that is practical effects touched
Hmm.
up with VFX and just camera perspective.
It's like camera tricks. It's like they're
Yeah.
very tall actors, right? And then it's that plus camera tricks that make them look like that.
Yes. So
Crazy.
I saw an interview with Tom Holland and Anne Hathaway when they talked about it. Like they were there watching that being filmed and still have no had no idea in the moment like how he was gonna make it look like that.
Yeah.
He was like Tom was like it was a funny little bit. He was like, I was there, I saw them. They weren't giants. They were like astounded. They were like, I don't know how he's gonna do it, and it looked so good.
Yeah.
And that scene was so cool. They just come out and dude just decimate
Yeah.
almost like a third of the fleet because at this
Yeah.
point they
And
still had 3 ships.
well, no, it would be 2/3 of the fleet they took down
Yeah,
because they ended
yeah,
up
it
taking
was. You're right.
like them attacking those boats. Like they were literally just chopping it to pieces and then just rock. They were just grabbing the boat with their bare hands and rocking it until everyone fell out. It's like Jesus Christ.
So that was really cool. That like just dude, just the camera tricks that
Yeah.
he is able to perform
Yeah,
and
trick
make
me.
it
I don't
look.
care how you do it. Trick me as long as it looks like
I
that.
don't give a
That's
shit. Yeah.
yeah. I got a tiny little brain. Make people big that aren't big. I love it.
entertain me. That's what I wanted, and that's what you get for 3 hours. Yeah, we can sit here and break it down and say like it was a little rushed in parts. It was I would have loved more stories of certain stops,
Mhm.
but as a whole, I mean, it did its job. I think it was a really cool retelling.
Yeah, or for me, a
Um,
first telling because I didn't know it. Like I have
yeah,
access to it. Should I have known it? Sure, but I didn't. So it was just a cool way for me to take it in for the first time.
yeah, I did see someone talk about it. It was like you don't need to know a little bit, but like it helps you understand a little more if you understand some Greek mythology.
Yeah, like I said,
And
I
like
think you should watch Troy. I think Troy's just enough where you get a little backstory and it picks off right where Troy leaves off. I believe.
yeah, I'm not like the biggest Greek mythology guy, but I know a fair bit to where like watching this was pretty smooth.
Hmm.
Obviously, there's some stories that like now watching videos and like seeing interviews after it makes more sense.
Yeah, and also like because you said about the actors, it's cool because I don't know how many people or how many movies we've seen. This movie has Spider Man, Batman, Catwoman, Punisher, and Jason Bourne. Like what five? Those are five huge roles in Hollywood, and all five who have played those roles are in the same movie. That's insane.
Yeah, going back to that, like what you just said. So you talked last week on the episode. You said you were unsure because you gave it that 80 to 90 range in your
Hmm.
pre-rate. Um, and your biggest thing was it's such a big cast
Hmm.
and superstar cast that you thought it was going to take away a little bit. Like, oh, this is him. How do you feel now if they're watching it 3 times? Was that the case, or did it
I
kind of
think
just
that on the first watch, Hathaway and Charlize Theron, it felt like that. Every time they popped up, it felt like it was just that, like the actors there. But
hmm
then for Hathaway, halfway through the movie, that disappeared for me. And then through the second viewing, I was fine with it all around. But other than that, it was way less than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it is funny though to think about, like you said, like you have now, like actively now, Spider Man, the Punisher, Batman, and then with Anne Hathaway's Catwoman in Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy. Um, it's just crazy. It's to get all those people in, and it's not like they were just little roles. Like they were all
Yeah,
the focal points of the movie.
yeah.
It's crazy. I also saw. Oh, another tidbit about the scene, the siren scene,
Hmm.
when he gets strapped to the pole and was like, "I want to endure this, but everyone has to put the wax in." When
Hmm.
they put the wax in and the audio
And the
cuts,
sound drops out. I have that right now, dude. That was a really cool part.
really cool
Yeah.
scene. And then just hit, dude, his Matt Damon's performance is unbelievable.
Yeah,
That
he's
scene,
jacked up too. They had that one scene where he's just shirtless. It's like that's what he worked for. I feel like he asked for that. He's like, "Hey, I've been doing all this work. Can we get one completely shirtless scene?" Which is
let
fair. He
me
deserved it.
show off all this work I put
Yeah.
in real quick.
Yep.
Um, his scene when he's strapped to the pole, just freaking out,
Hmm.
is so good.
So cool.
I saw a video of people talking like this is gonna get the nominations,
Hmm.
obviously for like almost every category you
Right.
could. Do you think? Obviously, it's hard to tell. We're halfway through the year,
Yeah.
still another back half of movies to come out. Do you think it's an Oscar-worthy performance for Matt Damon?
I would think so. I'm so bad at that with awards.
Same.
Do I think he did great? Yeah. Do I think that that's gonna be the best performance of the year? I would think not. Just because I don't think like his the movie didn't depend on. It's kind of like the MVP in football. I don't think the movie revolved around his performance. I think those are what the Oscar should be. Is we're like, oh, this was a good movie, but now it's a great movie because X, Y, and Z was in the role. So I think he was great in a great movie. So whatever that says, then
I
yeah,
don't disagree with that.
yeah,
Which it's like crazy to think about. It's like he was Odyssey. Like the movie is about him,
hmm,
but with the story itself, is like there's so many moving parts to this movie,
yeah,
and you get so many different characters that had really good performances.
hmm,
I do agree. Like maybe it isn't enough. I
yeah.
also don't know what else is coming out off the top of my head that could like.
Right. Because I don't think I did. We talked about all the cool things that we've seen, and very little, or if any, were like, oh, this performance in this scene. It was all this scene in general. So I think the
Hmm.
scene outperformed the actors who were already performing amazing. But it just that didn't. No single performance stood out enough for me.
I agree with that. Yeah, like you said, it is. It's and I think that's also the issue. Not issue, but that's kind of what you get with a Nolan film is like the scenes are gonna be so
Yeah.
captivating that like you not that there is any, but you could hide a lesser performance
Yeah.
in this really big scene.
And everyone's doing their job, so it's hard to pick out one person who's doing their job better because everyone's doing their job at the highest level.
Like
Yeah, so
even
to
the
your question,
end,
I'm sure they will, but I couldn't pick one out of my or give you a definite answer.
yeah, like, especially like the scene that comes to mind, obviously, is the end of the third act when, like we talked about earlier, he plucks the bow, he shoots it, and then you have all these suitors who have been sitting there the entire movie trying and waiting for Anne Hathaway's Penelope to be like, all right, it's time to remarry. Odysseus isn't coming home.
Hmm.
You have all of them sitting there and just the sheer panic, and then the fight scene ensues, and all the people, all the moving parts. Like, I can't pick out whether Tom had a great scene, Matt Damon, Robert
Yeah,
Pattinson. Like,
it was just
it's
a great scene.
so, yeah, it was just so well done. Obviously, it's a fight scene, so like, it's not as much of the acting, more of the actions going
Right.
on. But as that scene was just so, like I said earlier in the episode, just it's a you start to lean forward in your seat and you're just in it like holy
Yeah,
shit,
like here we
this is
go. It's like
insane.
a big here we go moment.
Yeah. So we've been on here for about almost an hour of Odyssey, which we kind of expected. We can probably conclude with any final thoughts. You got anything?
No, I just like I said, even if the movie itself didn't live up to the hype, like just the experience, it really was an experience. I've never felt more at home in a movie theater than the first showing because I saw it at 9, 10, so it was a second showing of IMAX like at all. And the people that walked in were the most movie people you've ever seen in your life. It was everybody was sat maybe 20 minutes before the actual showtime. 90% of people were in some sort of movie merch, whether it was Dune or like just IMAX branded Sinners. It was so cool. And when the second movie started, not a single peep, not a cell phone. I noticed no one even got up to pee the entire movie. Like they were the most movie people you could get in that theater, and it was so cool. Um, I think we got one cheer when the arrow went through the guy's neck during the trial, and then a round of applause at the end, which I don't partake in, but it was the vibe was cool. I'll never clap for a movie, but if a whole theater's gonna clap, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I had like a similar experience. There's definitely people that went up to go to the bathroom. It's tough. It's so hard with a 3 hour movie. It's like
Yeah.
you hit that point. Um, but yeah, there was claps at the end. It wasn't a whole theater like ovation, but there
Hmm.
was claps. That scene that you talked about with the arrow, like just that whole end scene is like you can kind of feel the intensity in even in the theater, like
Yeah.
not just the movie. Like you feel like it got tense. Like there's some gasps and like it's some really cool moments. And obviously, I can't wait to go see it in IMAX so I can get the full like visual
Right.
experience.
Hmm.
But as a whole, it's a movie with a really good story, but it is just it's an experience as a whole, and it
Yeah.
was just really well done.
And speaking of IMAX, actually, again, I don't know if they do it in other theaters, but Regal they do like a stack or two of posters for movies when they come out. And they just set them outside the IMAX screen. And you grab one. You are listen to me so closely. Look at me straight in the eyes here. You are the biggest piece of shit if you take multiple free posters from Regal and then go sell them on Facebook Marketplace or eBay for $100. You're a fucking loser. God forbid, I just wanted one cool little poster for my room. That's all I wanted, and they were gone by the second show. The first showing was 7 o'clock, so I barely had 2 hours of people to steal them, and people took the entire stack. I hate you. I hate every single one of you.
I knew that was coming. As soon as you
Yeah,
said
like
it, I knew that's exactly what was
I
coming.
wish I might start going to the premieres of movies I don't even see and just standing by the posters and be like a hall monitor for the one per please.
It
Someone
is.
has to do it.
I think so. Here's my take on it. Right, I agree. You're a scumbag. There's no need.
No need.
And the
They're
fact
free. They
that
don't even have
when
to do
you
it. There's no
texted
need.
me that you didn't get a poster, I went on Facebook Marketplace and saw literally 5 posts that said posted now. Like immediately went on and just tried to sell them. It's crazy. And
Disgusting.
the
It's a free
IMAX,
poster.
like the IMAX camera bucket, I've
Yeah.
seen 100 of those
hmm
on sale.
Which that's another cool part. That was also cool. You saw people walking into the theater with like every third person would have a horse or a camera, like because it's one of those things. It's so big, you know, and none of them had popcorn in it. That was the best part because they know they're gonna go put it on their shelves or something. So they're just carrying it around the theater. It was cool that these popcorn buckets are finally cool again. Because it was funny when we had the first one, the Dune, and then everyone just tried to make ones that you could fuck, like to be funny on Twitter, which like you could only do so much. The first one was hilarious, the second one was okay, and then it was downhill from there, and then everyone just kept beating with a dead horse. So I feel like this is the first movie where they're getting creative again. I love a good creative bucket. They're insanely expensive. I don't. We've talked about this. The fact that they're $70 or $60 for a popcorn bucket. I collect a lot of dumb shit that's probably more expensive than I should. A $70 movie bucket, I cannot justify.
I can't. I mean, if you just look behind me, I have a $300 Lego set of the Daily Bugle and a copious amount of Funko Pops. I collect dumb shit.
Yeah.
I can't. I went with my buddy Zane, and I knew the price going in, and he went up to the little thing to look at the horse and was like, and he does. He has. So when no, he didn't buy it. He did not. He's like, he's the same way. He's like, dude, $70 is crazy. He
Yeah.
got the Gladiator bucket, which and it came with a little helmet.
Oh, yeah.
That's fine because it's the metal tins. I have one. I'm not gonna bring it down off the shelf. It's out of frame. It's just the tin popcorn buckets with like a cool design.
Mm-hmm.
Those were, I think I spent $25. I think that and it came with a soda. This was for Guardians 3. That, a
Yeah.
soda, and a little figurine.
Okay.
$25 or $26
Yeah, that's
total.
doable.
Fine, give me that. But that's crazy. You were waiting the whole
I
time for
forgot.
this?
Yeah, $20. That's doable. $70 you can't do.
Where the is that? Where did you get that?
This is aftermarket.
From what?
I got it. We were gonna. Our original plan was we went Sunday with a bunch of people. And we were gonna tailgate, but it kind of fell through. So I got this for the tailgate, and then never got to wear it. Have you ever heard?
That's
Have you ever heard of
what?
Inside the Horse? No, probably will never wear this again. But it was cool for the vibe of the movie. But what other movie has gotten me to buy a $15 helmet? None.
None. You should have wore that the entire.
I was thinking about it.
You've been back pocketing that for the last hour and 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's the build up. It's all about the build up.
It's incredible.
I didn't know what to do with it, so at least now I'll get used to it. I'll probably return it.
No, you got to get shelves now. Now it's got to be a staple.
Now I have to get the horse.
Yeah. If not, give it to me. I'll put it up behind me.
Fair.
We have to keep that.
Add to the
This
wall.
is this is episode 2. You're already dropping bangers. That's incredible. We got so off tangent. We were talking about the posters, and they got into the insanely expensive popcorn buckets. That's another thing too. You're gonna spend $70 and then try to resell it for 100+ bucks.
Yeah, that's what you just can't. You can't do
But
that.
like, it takes away. Obviously, like if you're not gonna buy it, you're not gonna buy it in general. But like,
Mhm.
we don't need to resell everything.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the buckets actually also we were sat for the movie because the Dune we didn't really talk about it, but the Dune prologue was before the IMAX 70 millimeter. There was no trailers. It was only 5 minutes of the new of Dune 3
Yeah, I didn't get
came
that.
out, so people
Yeah,
were seated for that. And like 5 minutes before, two people came up and were not fighting, but like both had the same tickets. You could tell for the front row seats, and they couldn't figure it out, so they had to go get a manager. And the movie's supposed to start in like 5 minutes. And I was like, imagine you're ready because everyone there had bought tickets for a month. That was sold out a month in
hmm
advance. So you were preparing to be there. And I was like, imagine you're sitting in your seat in 5 minutes before the movie starts. They're like, hey, these actually aren't your seats, even though you have the ticket. So they had to. The other ones had to leave, and they just missed it. Yeah, I told Ron I was with my buddy, and I was like, I would demand a horse. I need at least two. If you're kicking me out of the showtime that I'm going to see, I need at least a horse and a IMAX camera.
yeah,
Yeah. Worst case
for
scenario,
sure.
honestly, though.
Back to the popcorn buckets. Hopefully, I mean, I can't justify spending $70 on a popcorn bucket, but if people out there really start to enjoy this podcast and want to blow this up and help us so we can buy more dumb shit for ourselves, that would be awesome. Maybe we get sponsored. Little partnership.
We just do it for the
Regal,
horses.
AMC, maybe. I did think about it though. The horse is sick and it would look really cool on display. But
Yeah,
unfortunately, I had made the responsible decision to not spend $70 on a popcorn bucket.
fair. Also, how about the line that I'm gonna use forever now? Plate liquor. That was, and the fact that he says it multiple times, plate liquor, like it sounds like Malfoy when he says Potter. Like it just sounds so nasty
Yeah,
when he says it. Like there's so much hate behind it.
his delivery on those lines was really good. Like he played a prick and he played it well.
Hmm.
Plate liquor. It's so funny. I can't take you serious right now. I'm gonna be honest.
Why? Well, how
I
about the trailer for the movie? Did you
what
get
trailer?
did you get that scary movie trailer?
With what's her
It's like
name?
something other mommy.
Jessica Chastain.
Yeah, that thing scared
Yeah,
the absolute biscuits off me.
that looks sick. I will go see that.
Well, I don't know about that, but I just you can't put that in it. Like we're all pumped, and we're that's the last trailer you play.
It is a crazy last
It
trailer.
scared the shit out of me. That was a big jump scare for a trailer, especially in the theater.
I so we can get on this tangent if you really want to. During the trailers, I try not to watch.
Hmm.
I watch a good bit of them. And then Spider-Man comes up, so I just do my due diligence. I pull up my phone and I just scroll and try to just tune it out because I'm so tired of trying to avoid pretty much the whole movie at this point from Spider-Man. But I locked back in for that one, and that was it. Got people in like who were just sitting down, like ready for the movie. It
Oh
was a
yeah, people
good.
jump especially once I knew it was coming after the first one. I watched other people jumped.
I also can't believe that they're. My thing is that's a big jump scare, and it probably hits in that moment.
Hmm.
The fact that that's in the trailer
That's
is
what I mean. I don't
crazy.
get it. Like it doesn't. What are you
We're
doing?
showing way too much. I need. Let's
Also,
just
a
go back to
dog shit
teasers.
name. Other mommy.
Zane leaned over to me and was pissed. He said, "Is that really what we're doing with the
That's the
name of this movie?"
dumbest name I've ever heard.
Yeah,
I know we've used a lot of titles, but Christ,
yeah, but like you can't sit down in a room with everyone and be like, "All right, let's come up with something better."
something better.
Um, I'm a big horror guy, so I'm probably gonna go see it. Granted, it
Yeah,
is what
well,
it is.
I'll watch Odyssey for the fourth time instead.
What else? There was a couple good trailers.
Well, I don't think I had a unless I sat down too late. I didn't see a Spider-Man trailer in ours.
I did. You also went to the IMAX. I was just general screen. We got a whole thing of trailers.
I think only IMAX 70 millimeter doesn't have trailers. Regular IMAX has trailers,
Yeah, we
but
got
that was cool too.
the
Even, 'Even-
newest Spider-Man trailer.
yeah,
All right, well, we can wrap up the Odyssey discussion. Just a final synopsis. I gave it a 91 out of 100.
80,
Tyler,
88, I think I landed on.
88 out of 100. If you have the chance, go see this movie. I recommend, obviously, I didn't get to see it yet in it, but IMAX. Please go see it in IMAX if you can. I know tickets are so hard to get, hence why I had to settle for the regular format. But
Good
for
things
the
are worth
best,
the wait.
yes, for sure. The best viewing experience is IMAX. Please go see it. I know it's 3 hours, but it's worth it, especially for that final act. It's really just all encompassing and kind of just has you locked in for that final 45, 30 minutes of the movie. But that's a wrap on Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. It lived up to the hype, and I can't wait to see where these box office numbers end up being towards the end of this run. It's going to be in the theaters for a while for sure. So I'm interested to see. You think it clips a bill?
I think so, just because I think Oppenheimer like barely went over a bill, right? And that was, I think that had, I liked this and I thought it was a better movie than Oppenheimer, but I think that got so much more hype because of the Barbie connection. So I think
Yes.
that if Oppenheimer just came out on its own that weekend, I think Odyssey makes more, but I don't think Odyssey does it.
I think it's probably going to be. I could see it getting like 800.
That's where I think it falls. Yeah, 8 to 850.
Yeah, a $250 million budget. It's made $14 million in opening weekend. So in 3 days, it profited already. So we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see where it falls.
I've done my part.
But same, and I'm gonna go do more this week. Hopefully, I'm gonna try to go see it again.
Duty.
Next up, because we went long, we're at an hour. We're about literally talked about Odyssey the whole entirety of our first episode. That if you haven't yet, go to our YouTube. You can watch episode 1. We talk about the invite and cover a bunch of other things. Last final piece today, Doomsday tickets went on sale for their Infinity Vision, which is what Disney and Marvel.
I gotta switch to my Doom helmet.
If you pull out a Doom helmet, I would literally shit my pants. I would literally lose my mind. Um, but yeah, Infinity Vision screenings. So
Yeah,
it's pretty much like Dolby, which
which
is
is
what
weird.
I.
It's weird. It's like their premium format, right? That they're coming out with their own. But I also saw something that they were gonna now split screens, split premium screens with Dune when it comes out. So if that's the case, I don't understand what the point of that special vision is.
I think it's just so I read up on it last night because I was intrigued because I saw that they were releasing tickets today. So I was like, oh, I gotta lock in and try to get
Hmm.
tickets. I waited in a 15-minute queue, sold out.
Yeah, I did too. And it for Regal, the only ones that are available, I don't know if they were so sold out that they usually don't take it down just because they're sold out. But the only show times you could buy was for 40x Vision, whatever it is, like essentially a 40x showing, which you couldn't pay me to sit in 40x. So I don't know when the real ones are coming out for Regal.
Yeah, so I did read that last night that it wasn't like general admission tickets. Like it wasn't just for everyone. It was only those specific screens that they were doing the sales for today. Yeah, because I went on and the closest ones was the city and in Jersey that have like those Dolby specific screens for
Mm-hmm.
AMC. Those were the only ones, and I waited in a queue,
Oh, that makes
and
sense.
then it like kicked me out of the app. I
Yeah.
couldn't even. So obviously, I'm gonna have to wait and see when more showtimes pop up to go get that. That doesn't come out till December 18th anyway, so there's plenty of time. But on the tail of them releasing tickets today, there's a new promo poster of Doctor Doom, and it's a cool looking poster, much better than the poster that came out a couple weeks ago. That just looks like really shitty Photoshop of just all the characters together.
Mm-hmm.
And then the first trailer for Doomsday came out today as well.
Did you watch it?
I did. I
What
didn't
did you,
want to,
yeah, I didn't
but I
watch it. What
did.
did you think?
It was good.
Yeah.
It's a lot of what people like. There was a lot of leaks that have happened, and I don't know how this always happens with Marvel, and like shit always gets leaked. Uh, the like voiceover of the whole trailer was leaked prior, which I stumbled upon on Twitter like a couple months ago.
Okay.
But now the visuals that go with it, it wasn't
I
bad.
see.
It was
Yeah.
yeah. I'm interested. I like
Yeah, I'm gonna see it regardless. I don't need a trailer. Like I don't.
yeah.
Just let me know
I
what it's
try to
about.
avoid them, especially with like the fact that I see so many people saying like that all these Spider-Man trailers are just showing more and more. Like we just don't need more than one trailer, and I don't even like trailers. Give me a teaser.
I
I
don't
just
get
want a
it. Yeah,
teaser.
a teaser is the perfect. I don't understand because there's people that are much smarter than us that are in charge of it. But like, I don't understand putting it's Spider Man, so people are already gonna see it. I don't think a trailer that you put out is gonna be like, you know what, I was on the fence, but now I'm gonna see it. Like once you put the initial one out, people are either gonna see it or not. What's the point of putting so much of the movie out in trailers?
And here's my take. Ready? This is gonna be a little controversial. You're gonna spend all this money on your marketing budget to keep putting out trailers. Why don't we spend a little more time on cleaning up some wonky CGI that's been happening
Yeah,
recently? Huh? Why don't we spend a little more money there?
yeah. Like just with the budget, bring Sydney Sweeney back for this one. Give her another shot.
Definitely don't do that. The Sony verse is dead, and it's never. Those movies are terrible. Madam Web was so bad.
I think I had two good parts.
Hmm. I can only imagine what those were. Um, but yeah, I mean, we got what do we got coming out? Spider Man. I don't. Do we have anything this weekend that's big?
I think that not this weekend, but coming up in the next couple weeks is Oak Street.
I thought that was August.
It's like early August, yeah. In a couple weeks, we're in, yeah. I guess that is kind of far.
I just meant because I said like Spider Man's the end of the month. That's the big
Yeah, that's
release on the
it.
31st.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have anything this weekend. So we got Spider Man Brand New Day, July 31st. You're going that Friday, correct?
That Thursday. Yeah,
Thursday.
actually, you might be right. I think it's Friday.
I'm going Friday. So we'll have a lot to talk about with that. And then there's some sneaky bangers, like not big name movies, but sneaky bangers, I think, throughout August. That'll be some fun watches to go see.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Clayface for the DCU, which I'm very excited for after a not great performance with Supergirl. I'm excited to see what Clayface as a body horror does in, I believe, September.
Probably September, October, I think. Yeah.
And then the re-release of Endgame. I actually saw something about that too. They're re-releasing Endgame in theaters in September with bonus footage. It's going to be like 7 minutes longer than the original,
I'm curious if tickets are
and
going to be harder to get for those, like how these all are for the new movies.
probably because apparently they're redoing the end credit scene,
Mm.
and it's going to lead into Doomsday,
Makes sense.
which I kind of don't like because it kind of feels like it's a Marvel backtrack and trying to fix some things.
To be fair, but also like we need it. Like I think they need to do it.
Yeah,
Backtracks. Like I agree.
I
I think you can call out that's what they're doing and still be okay with it.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think I'm also doing a whole rewatch, so we'll see how that ends up by the time Doomsday comes out in December. It's a long process, so many movies. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it for us. We got episode two, Two Tickets podcast. It's Odyssey full review, 91 out of 100, 88 out of 100
Mhm.
for you. Really good movie. Christopher Nolan works his magic. Please go see it in theaters. And until then, have a good one.